Okay, so Australia versus England, the match at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, 286 all out, not batting their full quota of 50 overs, 49.2. Chris Wokes, if you may say, 4 wickets, Adil Rashid, 2 wickets. Why I was saying, is it a fight back by Australia or did England restrict them or is it neither? That's why I'm wondering. This is a very confusing kind of an innings that
I'll throw one thing into consideration here. When Joss Butler won the toss, he said that it will ease out to bat under lights. If you look at the conditions the way they are now, the floodlights are very much on, and in the latter parts, it did look like the ball was coming onto the bat much better. Maybe, just maybe, the England captain's theory is correct, is that it will ease out as the game went on, but when the sun was shining down, definitely not the easiest of pitches to bat on.
Yep, because Travis Head, David Warner, they tried to attack, but then unfortunately they got dismissed quite cheaply. Smith hung in, Labuschagne hung in, Labuschagne went to 71, but unfortunately Steve Smith could not carry on and get a big score, 44 he was dismissed for. Then there was a period where Australia were 227 for 5. But considering that the lower order gave you another 59 additional runs, did England miss a trick or the Australians just threw their wickets away? I can think of Marcus Stoinis. He threw his wicket away.
Yes, Stoinis was very, he replaced Glenn Maxwell in the playing 11 in more ways than one. Because that was an absolutely needless shot to go for after you've hit a 6 and a 4 of Liam Livingstone, who, even though he does bowl a lot, is at best a part-time spinner, and Stoinis, we know, can really take a liking to spinners at certain points. We've seen him do it in the IPL. I think if he had to stick around a little bit longer, I think Australia could have been past 300. Unfortunately, hits a 6-4, gets greedy for that one big shot and holds out to a pretty good catch from Johnny Bairstow, but he didn't need to be picking the field at that point. You could have just stuck around.
If there is no dew in Ahmedabad, then I think run scoring might become slightly more difficult. But remember, this is the highest score that Australia ever posted against England in a World Cup in India. In India, 249, you're right. 286 now. But looking at the conditions, if there is dew, Butler's theory then is spot on. It will become easier to bat on because Adam Zampa, unfortunately, then he may not be able to grip the ball. And remember, leg spin, if Adam Zampa is in good form, then I think you will be in trouble. Travis Head on top of that, if he gets his off spin going, maybe England can slow down. But at this point, if you look at it, Bairstow, Malan, you would expect them to give you a good start. Remember, 5 overs for 30, they did give you a good start. It was that spell later on which absolutely dismantled England in Lucknow. So, whether Australia can channel the likes of Mohammad Shami or Mohammad Siraj or Jasprit Bumrah in that spell, it remains to be seen. But Cummins, Hazelwood, Stark, you would think that that is the trio that should do it. But unfortunately for Australia, that's their major concern. 2 of them rather. Stark's been wayward. Cummins has not set the stage on fire in this World Cup at all. And I'm more concerned about Mitchell Stark. Their gun bowler, their strike bowler, but in this World Cup has been way below par.
Yeah, he hasn't quite been able to produce the levels of, let's say, consistency that we've come to expect from him. This is a guy who remember 2015. Phenomenal in a home World Cup. People said, oh, he's just doing it at home. 2019 was absolutely amazing. The gun player, always in up and among the wickets, someone who was consistently troubling batsmen of any team. So it hasn't quite been the same bowler this time around, and that's a concern. That really is a bit of a concern.
Yep, it is a concern. And let us shift our attention for some time, to the
41 over game, 6:20, 3:42 is the time.
Oh, 6:20 p.m. local time. That's the latest update you got from the Pakistan versus New Zealand encounter. Remember, play was held up, and because of that, now it's going to be a 41 over game.
That means they lost 9 overs full.
9 overs. And if you look at it now, you need about 19.3 overs. But Pakistan still need about 182.
So 19 overs, 182, that's essentially a T20 chase at this point.
It is a T20 chase at this point in time. So, Pakistan versus New Zealand, if you look at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, that is shaping up to be a thriller then. Because Fakhar Zaman's fastest World Cup 100 by Pakistani opener has ensured that I think they're 160 for 1 in 21.3 overs, isn't it? They are 10 ahead of the DLS method. Now, there was some confusion as to in the Chinnaswamy Stadium as to what is the cutoff time. Everybody is saying that 7 p.m. is the cutoff time. But the event organizer is saying, no, 7:40 p.m. is the cutoff time because the Pakistan innings ended late.
Oh.
So trust Pakistan to sow seeds of chaos everywhere they go. And that's why it's in Pakistan's thing. Wherever they go in the world, chaos follows. So that is the situation that we are looking at it. 342 is the target, meaning they need 182 runs in essentially 20 overs.
That's a proper T20 chase. That's a proper T20 chase. There's no two ways about it. 19.3 overs if we're being precise.
Yeah.
Oof.
19.3 overs.
I think now, if I'm New Zealand, I look to get Fakhar out.
Yeah.
That really just stymies the momentum. Then you can look to maybe strangle them a bit. If Fakhar comes out and continues batting the way he was before the break, oh dear God.
Yeah. But remember, if Fakhar Zaman gets out, then maybe, if common sense dictates, Pakistan should promote Iftikhar Ahmed up.
Yeah.
Because Iftikhar will then have that swag to ensure that, okay, I can clear the big hit season. And remember, this is a vintage Bangalore deck. Flat, small boundaries, sixes galore.
Yeah, and this is something we'll dwell on a lot in the post-match. But I think it's safe to say that both captains got it wrong.
Yeah.
It's rare. Both captains got it wrong with their assessment. On one hand, you thought, you had Babar Azam who thought that, there'd be moisture, so you might be able to exploit that, get some movement. He clearly wasn't. Kane Williamson thought the pitch was going to spin a lot, but it's not really spinning. In the second half, it's really eased out. Fakhar Zaman was tackling the spinners very, very effortlessly.
Yeah.
The ball was coming onto the bat very, very nicely. This is a typical Bangalore wicket.
Yeah. So any assessment was wrong. Essentially, you had to play with only 11 batters.
Yeah.
That's how flat this Bangalore deck is. And if Pakistan can pull this off, it will be one of the most epic chases that we have had in World Cups.
It would not be a record. What would be the record chase?
I think the record was already 348, but that was in a 50 over chase that Pakistan did. But this in a truncated game would be a record.
Still.
41 overs, 342. But still, I mean, now it's the proper thriller. Now. It's a T20 game now.
Now it's basically you're watching a T20 game barring any more rain interruptions, which seems unlikely, I think.
Which, although it is cloudy,
Yeah.
it still remains cloudy at the Chinnaswamy. And remember, again at around 7:38, you could see rain. Because towards the night time, every time in Bengaluru, you've seen rain at this period. So that's why, fingers crossed, you don't get to see any more rain. But if that happens, supposing if there is a tie, super over, if it's tied, you continue to have super over. So as far as Pakistan, New Zealand is concerned, 342 is the target in 41 overs. Essentially now 182 in 19.3 overs. Now Australia versus England, if you look at it, Chris Wokes with 4 for 54. But wait, I think then you'll have to. Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
But this is Pakistan.
Yeah,
you're dwelling on the Pakistan thing.
We'll just quickly go over what the scorecard looks like, because again, if you look at, let's say, how it is that the score has been going so far. I mean, look, Fakhar Zaman's innings has undoubtedly been a game changer. 106 not out, 69. The key now will, of course, be for them to get that next batter right whenever that happens. I don't think Rizwan or Shakil or even an Agha Salman are the answer. Has to be Iftikhar.
If you get within a 7 per over, then after Iftikhar or Fakhar has done the job, then I think Rizwan is the right person.
Yeah, 7 and over is a chase right up his kind of alley.
Yes, so that is the current situation that we have. But as far as Australia and England are concerned,
see, I will say one thing. This was a very un-Ahmedabad-like pitch. Australia realized that a little too late, because by the time they did, they lost both their openers and they had Labuschagne and Smith in the middle. I think Smith would be a little disappointed with the way he got out, though. It was not the best of balls, although he does have a very bad record against Adil Rashid.
Yes.
I think Rashid, prior to this game, had gotten him out 6 times in ODIs. Hardly ideal, and once again, he made that the 7th. So then thereafter, I think Labuschagne played a good knock. Maybe needed to stick around longer, because if you see, I think it became easier to bat on as the game went on.
And Green also couldn't carry on.
Green, another one, Stoinis. They got starts. But again, if one of those starts gets converted, then you're not looking at 280 odd. You're looking at 300 plus. And 300 plus would be a challenge in total, even under relatively, let's say, batter friendly conditions. Say it's easier to bat in that particular circumstance.
Okay, so let's see. I found this innings very confusing. It wasn't an Aussie kind of an innings, it wasn't an England kind of an innings. So let's see how it goes. But what's the time now? 6:10. The chase is 620, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's we're talking about the
Pakistan-New Zealand game.
620.
As I had mentioned, why did they even name this a day game? It should have been very day-nighter game.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pakistan, for ensuring you took 4 hours to bowl your 50 overs. If I was the ICC referee, if I was stuck in the 90s, you would have had to chase 440 overs. I would have deducted 10 straight overs from your kitty because it was pathetic. It's really, really pathetic to see the slow over rates. I mean, 4 hours. They were bowling 11 overs an hour, 12 overs an hour.
That's not good.
That's woeful. So that's why, now this is going to be very interesting.
Because you have 2 games, I think, which will be finishing off at similar times. I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference.
No, we'll have a 2 hour back gap.
Oh, what if there's a rain interruption?
No, 7:40 cutoff. That's it. End. Any which way you are seeing a result because your 20 overs are up. If there was only 18-19 overs, then no result. Pakistan would have been 7, New Zealand would have been 9, as far as the point situation is concerned. So you are going to see a match. A result is there, guaranteed.
Yeah, result now is there because they got past the 20 over mark. So that's a good thing.
That's
because if the rain had to come at 18-19, then we'd have all been on tenterhooks, saying that, the rain is there, but it still could very well be points shared. Now there's no point sharing. Either which way, we're going to have a result.
One team is getting 2 points.
Yeah, one team is getting 2 points, one way or another. However, if New Zealand are to be that team, and let's not write them off yet, some of these bowling figures are going to need some improvement.
Yeah, has to look at Bolt, 4 overs, 4.3 for 43.
9.6 economy. When do you recall Trent Bolt going at an economy of 9.6? You don't. That's the thing.
Southeast bowled well. He got the 1 wicket. But Santner, Phillips in particular, after that 1 maiden, conceded 42 runs.
Exactly. That means basically he gave away 42 runs in 4 overs.
It's not looking good for New Zealand. And basically, when we focus even the rain break, New Zealand's body language looked as if they had to defend 200.
Yeah,
not 400.
They did look a little bit as if, they were kind of bogged down, which is surprising because I know that, Bangalore, you get good batting conditions more often than not. But good batting conditions.
This is an IPL track.
Yeah, and even then, you still have 400 runs on the board. And you know that Pakistan, there's precisely 2 wickets you need to get. Get Fakhar Zaman, get Iftikhar Ahmed, and that's half the battle won. Yeah. But no, they let Fakhar settle. And once he got settled, then he was hitting everyone around the park for fun. Now, if they do get him, you'd argue that he's done his job. Then the real challenge is, can they get through the rest of the batting order? Is that going to be enough?
Yep. And remember, Pakistan have always gotten their A game against New Zealand in World Cups as a reason why they have a 7-2 head-to-head record against them. 83 was the one time New Zealand had won, 2011. That's it. 28 years later. That too, it took a freak Ross Taylor knock and 5 overs, 100 runs. Last 5 overs, 100, where Razak and Shoaib Akhtar were absolutely walloped out of the park. And incidentally, that was Ross Taylor's birthday. And Kamran Akmal dropped 4 catches.
Best present ever.
Yeah, best present. I mean, Kamran Akmal dropping catches is as inevitable as candles on a cake. It's as inevitable as. I remember that game for all the right reasons because Pakistan got bashed. Ross Taylor, gem of a man, gem of a cricketer, got to a century. And in 19, again, Kudrat ka Nizam favoured Babar Azam. He got that only century in that World Cup. It was against New Zealand. So Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, Iftikhar Ahmed, these 3 are the key now if you have to look at New Zealand at this point in time. Fakhar Zaman, 106. Can he get a double 100? Akash Bharadwaj is saying, can he get a double 100?
I mean, see, if he keeps batting this way, there's nothing stopping him. There's enough runs. And a double 100 in a chase, man, oh man. How often does that happen?
I think never, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what. Because
see, Tendulkar got it in a first innings. Sehwag also got it in the first innings. Guptill got it in the first innings. AB de Villiers got it in the... No, AB
didn't get a 200.
He got a 100 off 31 balls.
Yeah, he had the quickest 100 record. My bad.
Yeah.
Guptill, Gale.
Again, Chase. Again in the first innings.
Gale.
First innings against Zimbabwe. Then who else? Fakhar Zaman again against...
Ishan Kishan, first innings. Shubman Gill, first innings.
Yeah, I'll just have a look.
Yeah, because I don't think this has ever happened. So
it'll be the first. Yeah, list of 200s in ODIs. Okay, so that's what I am looking at it. Okay, 264 Rohit Sharma first innings, Martin Guptill 237 first innings, Virendra Sehwag 219 first innings, Fakhar Zaman, Chris Gale first innings, Ishan Kishan first innings, Rohit Sharma 209 and 208 again in the first innings, 208 again in the first innings. Sachin, never it has happened at a double 100 in a chase.
As I said, it's never happened in a chase. It's something that always tends to happen when there isn't that much scoreboard pressure, and when you are, let's say, talking about setting a total, because at that point you can kind of take your time, pace your innings. If you have a run chase though, even if you want to get to 200, how many times are you going to have those many runs? That's the key. Though they do have the runs.
By the way, Fakhar Zaman's also hit a 180 against New Zealand. That came in, you may say, 2023.
Yeah, this was earlier in the year.
In
January, correct.
And Pakistan won it while chasing. 337 they had to chase. They chased it down in 48.2. But it came on a absolute highway called Rawalpindi.
Of course it did.
So, if Fakhar Zaman gets a double 100, history, folks. First time ever in the history of ODI is a successful 200 in a chase.
That's the thing.
Yikes.
So, as could very well be staring at history.
You could be. And Pakistan's campaign then stays very much alive then. So, as far as predictions goes, I had predicted Pakistan at the start.
Then you changed.
Then I changed.
Are you going to change again?
Maybe. That's my Kudrat ka Nizam doing a lot of, you may say, khichdi in my brain at this point.
Not biryani?
Not biryani. Yeah, I don't have a protein problem like all the Pakistanis have. But man, I'm confused. Like how this Australian innings was so confusing to determine.
I cannot call this match down the middle anymore. I just cannot. I cannot for the life of me pick out where exactly it's going. It's too close to call because there's so many variables. See, I'll take the safe option.
I will still stick with New Zealand.
Yeah, same. But I'm not counting Pakistan out of this.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yeah. What about Australia-England? The chase that's going to happen. England chasing it down?
I think England will chase it down. Oh, I think Australia may still be with a chance because 278 is a lot and 286. And England do have a propensity of just imploding. I think they'll need someone to play a stable innings. That hasn't happened. You need maybe someone like a Root or a Stokes to kind of step in and play that stabilizing innings, let others bat around them, and maybe one big knock. Because again, 286 on a Ahmedabad track that's easing out. Not the toughest of chases, but England have developed a major propensity of shooting themselves in the foot in recent times, especially in this World Cup. It's been very, very evident.
Yeah, when you look at chasing, couldn't chase down 400 against South Africa, couldn't chase down 231 against India, then couldn't defend 290. But by the way, they
could chase against Afghanistan either.
Afghanistan, yep. So chasing, if they want, maybe they can look back on the first match where they couldn't defend 290 against New Zealand. And that was the game which set the tone, and that's it. They couldn't recover from that.
Absolutely.
So I would still say England are winning it, but it will need something from Stokes or Root.
Same. That's what I think.
Stokes against his favorite opponents, he can do it. He has done well against Australia.
Could very well do it.
So I will say in the Australia-England game, I think England have a slight advantage. But when it comes to Pakistan, New Zealand...
it's too close to call.
I'll say stick with New Zealand. But
for now.
It's so difficult.
It's very close.
Thank you, Fakhar Zaman, for all this. Okay.
And we'll thank you guys as well. Take your leave because the match is about to get underway. Pakistan, New Zealand is in fact about to, start or restart. Considering what a big interruption we've had, really, more than an hour
and
so many overs. So we'll take your leave, but thank you guys so much for joining us. Please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap that bell, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget to download the Sportstak app. Check out the website. That's where we're getting all these lovely stats from. And of course, stay tuned. Plenty more coming your way. Right now, though, from Siddharth and from me, it's goodbye.
Bye-bye.